and welcome to Alzheimer's Speaks Radio. I'm your host, Lori LeBay, and I'm so excited that you're joining us today. We are going to have a fascinating conversation as usual as we learn from people all around the world at all ages and stages of life. Stay tuned as we shift our dementia care from crisis to comfort.
Here we go. What you think about, you will bring about the mental change. We will.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to Alzheimer's Speaks. I'm excited to have this conversation today. We're going to be talking about helping families create safe bathrooms for themselves and their loved ones. And we have a trusted occupational therapist and an industry expert to help us along with that. But before I introduce you to our guests, I always like to urge people to go to alzheimersspeaks.com. There you will find our section of free educational resources, and you will find a ton of different information that will be very supportive on your journey with dementia, or pass it along to friends or family. Also, you can always go to our book tab. You'll find Betty the Bald Chicken, Lessons in How to Care, which is all about how to still feel like you belong. And what do you do in those times when you don't? And when chronic illness happens, a lot of times we feel shunned. It is written as a children's book with questions towards the back, but our experience and what we've been hearing from everyone is that this is a book for all ages and all situations. Also, I would encourage you to check out Dementia Map, our global resource directory, where you can find not only the resource directory, but a calendar of events, a glossary of terms, a shop, and some wonderful articles as well. So let's get into this conversation, because this is one of the most popular topics out there. And yet it's such an unknown in terms of how do you make your bathroom safe? Well, ladies, I'm so excited to have you both with us today. I think this is just such a hot topic, and one that it's a hot topic, yet people are kind of afraid to talk about it too, because there's a little embarrassment, I think, sometimes around our bathrooms and what our needs are and stuff. So I'm going to start out by having each of you introduce yourself. And Maria, I'm going to have you go first, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Love to. Well, my name is Maria Lindbergh, and I'm an occupational therapist and owner of Toilet Talk. I help people create beautiful and safe bathrooms. I have experience working in my career as an occupational therapist in nursing homes, hospitals, and people's homes. And I saw that one of the biggest things that made it difficult for people to live in their home for a lifetime was their bathroom setup. So eventually I came down the line and I met Becky. So Becky, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Becky Wright, and I work at Ponte Giulio, USA. We are an Italian manufacturer of bathroom safety products, things like grab bars, shower seats, and accessible sinks. I've been there for about 5 years, and I really enjoy working with our distributors, lots of occupational therapists across the country, as well as talking to homeowners that have some questions that they need answered.
Wonderful. You know, I always start out asking all of my guests the same question. So I'm going to do that with you too as well. And I'll point it to Maria first. Have you been touched by dementia in your own family or circle of friends?
Yes, absolutely. My grandfather he was a World War II veteran, and he had developed, we think it was a type of vascular dementia. And my grandparents, their goal, both of them, was always to live at home, to never live in a nursing home. And while we were able to do that for my grandmother with some simple changes to her bathroom, for my grandfather, it came to a point where he needed 2 people to help him with dressing, bathing, toileting, getting in and out of bed, those kinds of things. So eventually we helped him transition to long-term care. So I had that experience as a caregiver hands-on, and also professionally too. I've worked with a lot of people with dementia. But yeah, my grandfather is definitely the most personal person to me to have had dementia. And I feel like that gave me a lot of insight to what caregivers experience at home too, and figuring out how to take care of their loved one.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing. Becky, how about you?
Yes, I absolutely have dementia and Alzheimer's specifically in my family. My mother-in-law was diagnosed with Alzheimer's a couple of years ago, and she is about middle of the progress, I guess. And we are her caregivers. Her three adult children and spouses, which would include me. We visit her. She's still living at home. She's doing well, I would say. But we definitely see the disease progressing. But we check in on her twice a day and sometimes more than that, make sure she's eating and helping with her household things. Obviously, when she had fallen and broken her hip, and that actually, I think, made the Alzheimer's progress a little bit faster. And at that time, when she was coming home from the hospital, she needed grab bars, she needed shower seats, a lot of things. So I said, "You've got me. I'm your specialist." So I was able to help determine what we needed to use and where we needed to put it, and that has allowed her really to stay in her home.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, Maria, I'm going to ask you because I just think this is kind of a fascinating question because I think it's something people don't think of. But what would be the top 3 bathroom changes that you think people living with dementia need?
Oh my goodness. Well, definitely the first thing is how are we getting in and out of the shower? So the number one place for people to fall at home is actually when they step out of the shower. So I always recommend having a grab bar at the shower entry for people to hold on to so they can safely step over a tub ledge, or if it's a shower stall ledge, it's something for them to be able to hold on to and safely get in and out. Another thing that is so helpful is to have a shower seat. I personally, in my bathroom, I have a wall-mounted shower seat, and it's Ponte Giulio. But I love wall-mounted shower seats because they can fold up when you don't need them. And when you do want to sit on them or prop a foot up on them, you can put it down and sit down or whatever you need to do. As we get older, sometimes showers can feel very tiring. That's because warm water naturally makes your blood vessels open and you feel a little bit more tired. So it sure doesn't hurt to sit down while you are showering so that you can be safe, keep your balance, save energy for you to continue your shower and then safely get out and dry off and do your whole beauty routine, whatever you have. And the third thing that I'd say is so important for people to have in the shower is to put in a handheld shower head. What's great also about Ponte Giulio, they do also have handheld shower holders that go on any grab bar. And so if you don't already have a handheld shower head, that's basically a shower head with a hose on it. So you're able to sit down and aim water wherever you like. You don't just have water spraying you directly in the face. So to have something where you could put the handheld shower head on a handheld shower holder to hold it in place for you and put it at a lower height. If you're sitting down, you can reach that easier, or having it higher up on a grab bar, for instance, if you want to stand and shower that way. It gives you a whole lot of options.
Well, that's nice. I can see that even with my grandkids, they're like, can you get it down for me? And then half the time, I don't check to see and I get sprayed,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of benefits to that. But I think growing up all my life, it was a standard shower head. That was it. And it's, I'm 64 now, and it really hasn't been all that long that this has been that popular. And now everybody wants a handheld shower, in their bathroom nowadays. It's just much easier on everybody at every age, I think, with that. What are some of the differences that you see in grab bars? Because I know, I sell real estate for like 25 years before I got into this. And in the beginning, people are like, oh, I don't want a grab bar. It looks too hospital ish. I don't want that. So I don't want that. I need that, but I don't want anyone else to know that I need that there. And there was just this huge embarrassment on this, and they've come a long ways. I see them in different colors and all kinds of stuff, but why don't you talk about the benefits first of the grab bar?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I will tell you that my mother-in-law is the same way, and I've worked with so many people who are the same way. My mother-in-law, I like to talk about her because we call her the DIY queen, and she wants her home to look a certain way, and that is not like a hospital. She's one of those people who, really cares. And I say, yes, you can have your cake and eat it too. Last year, she had fallen at work and she broke her ankle. And so she was somebody who she has a tub shower in her home, and it's the kind of tub shower that has the glass doors that are you slide them on the track. So with her broken ankle, the doctor said, you cannot put any weight on that ankle whatsoever, which made it impossible for her to step over the tub ledge on one foot, because eventually you're going to have to put weight on it at some point, unless you can levitate. Becky, I know you had that experience too. You had ankle surgery. So for her, getting in and out of the shower was very tricky. She did use a tub transfer bench, but even now her ankle's completely healed. Now that she is stepping back over the tub ledge again, it's so much safer for her to hold onto a grab bar. Number one, she still has kind of a fear of falling. And that's something that's really easy to develop, because she, when she fell at work, it came out of the blue. She, to this day, doesn't really understand how she fell. And secondly, like I was saying before, with the showers, if you are feeling tired, it's easier to slip and fall. If you have a slippery shower floor, or you're stepping out of the shower and there's some water that gets on the floor, maybe you have tile, and you're not putting your rubber backed mat outside the shower doesn't reach all the places it needs to, and somehow water gets somewhere. It's so good to have that grab bar in place to make sure that you don't fall and that you're able to stay in your home. And I do like to share with my grab bar in my shower at home. Even my toddler uses it. I mean, well, she's 4 now, but she's been using it since she was 2 years old, and I didn't even have to instruct her how to do it. And I'm sure you have grandchildren, so you know that young children fall all the time. No matter, you could look at them and they're going to fall on the ground. So it's really important for people of all ages, not just mother-in-laws with broken ankles. No, it's for everybody, on down to toddlers as well, to feel safer while getting in and out of the shower.
Well, you brought up a good point too about that fear of falling, because I think when you're preoccupied with that too, sometimes it almost calls it into play, and that makes people not want to take a shower and not do their grooming, and then that can cause a lot of other issues there. I mean, there's just so many different levels that not having the proper equipment can cause in your life. You can have family and friends kind of stay away because maybe you're not smelling as sweet as you used to because you're not doing your grooming. Or they know that maybe their hair should be washed, but they haven't, and so they don't want to go out socially. And there's so many little things I think that people don't really understand how deeply it can affect their daily life with things. So I appreciate you bringing those up. Now there's colors, there's all kinds of colors out there and styles, but have you found that there's a better color or not for people living with dementia?
Yes, absolutely. So for people with dementia, if you are a caregiver and, let's say like when my grandfather was living at home, he was somebody who we needed to make him more alert and to distinctly point out what was in the environment so that he could, grab or hold on or use it or whatever we wanted him to do. So the colors red and yellow for grab bars are really good because they kind of give you that alert, look at me, hold on to me. It's so much easier to help somebody and say, grab onto the red grab bar, or do you see that red bar or yellow bar, something like that to immediately wake up the brain. I know for feeding for people with dementia, if you're having a hard time with appetite and you're trying to get your loved one with dementia to eat more, you typically use like red plates or red placemats or red cups, something like that to kind of stimulate the brain. And the same works for the bathroom as well. And red and yellow also are perfect in the bathroom because bathrooms tend to be white. So those colors will really stand out in your bathroom. If you have somebody with dementia who tends to be more agitated and maybe you want them to actually be a little bit more calm, maybe showers are a place where, especially I've worked with people who did not want to shower for whatever reason, having colors like blue or green would be a good option for you. So blue and green colors tend to be more relaxing and more calming. And the great thing about Ponte Giulio, they do have a whole bunch of colors. They have all of those colors I mentioned and more. But having those kinds of options it's wonderful to have options if you're helping your loved one with dementia. So you could really set up the bathroom to make it more apt for your loved one. I would also, just as a side note, using contrasting colors in the bathroom. So like really, really light colors compared to really, really dark colors is very helpful. As we age, our vision is not as good as it used to be. So it's really good to break up, if you have an all white bathroom, to break it up and maybe use like a dark blue rubber backed shower mat. Use a dark blue toilet cover so your loved one can clearly see, so they're not having accidents. I've worked with so many people who have a hard time going in the toilet and they miss and they go on the floor. So having a navy blue or a dark green toilet seat or a bright red toilet seat, those kinds of things can really help set you up for success in being safe in the bathroom, but also using the toilet and shower as intended.
When you're talking colors, I'm gathering you're talking primary colors, so they do have more contrast versus like pastels, which would blend in, because with the older eyes, we don't always differentiate that. And like I said, I'm only 64 and I'm noticing the difference already with that. Overseas, they have they're much more advanced and I think more open to utilizing colors for assistance. So they use them on like light switches, so you can actually find them on the wall. You had already mentioned toilet seats, but in so many different areas that we are still kind of embarrassed about. Why would we do that? And it just makes everyone's life so much easier when we're able to meet the person's needs and reduce, a hospitalization or just reduce the stress, and there's stress, like you said, when someone misses the toilets and they're spraying all over and, who gets mad? Typically, it's not the person going to the bathroom, it's the person that has to clean it up and is exhausted. But there can be great embarrassment once they know that they've made this mess as well. So it's a nice way to provide dignity, and I think once we open up it and we explain the whys, people get over it. They don't really care. I think they're like, well, that's a weird decorating choice. I mean, that's how people look at it, and it's not. It isn't a total decorating choice all the time. It's a safety issue, and it's wanting to keep your loved one, if it's at home, safe, or if it's in a community, keep them safe there as well. So thank you for that information. That was really helpful.
My pleasure.
Becky, I wanted to talk to you because with your company, you have some vinyl coated grab bars that come in all different kinds of colors and stuff. And I've always wondered, in my mind, I have the steel grab bar that was kind of the first one out there. Is there any like safety issues in terms of one versus the other versus sliding or slipping and actually being able to have a good grip between the metal and the vinyl coated?
Well, the vinyl coated grab bar is really a step up from any metal grab bar. You can get a metal that's been painted, which is nice, so you can get some contrast or some coordination even within your bathroom. But the vinyl coated is really a step up kind of a grab bar. It has many additional features. It comes in the normal grab bar lengths, anywhere from 12 inches to 48 inches. But the vinyl coating is embedded with silver ions. So they don't wash off, they are just in the vinyl during the production process. And that those silver ions provide antimicrobial protection. So basically that grab bar is helping you keep your bathroom clean all the time. It's very easy to wipe down with a warm washcloth. Maybe use, if it gets dirty, you might use a little dish soap on it, but that's all you really need to do because the vinyl itself is antimicrobial and it will fight against bacteria, some definitely fungus, and even some viruses. So it is really a huge advantage in any bathroom. They do come in up to 15 different colors. Maria talked about the red and the yellow. We do sell those to memory care units. So if you've got someone still at home, but they might eventually be moving to a memory care, having the red or the yellow at home is going to just make that transition a little bit easier, because they're going to be familiar with, that's something that I should grab, and that they typically use red and yellow in memory care. It is also warmer and softer to the touch. Now, it's not soft and squishy, but it is softer to the touch. And the main thing is that it's warmer. People that might have neuropathy in their hands and their feet, touching something cold can be very painful. It can be like cutting their hand. And what the vinyl does is it reflects your body's temperature back to your hand. So it just always is going to feel warmer than any type of metal grab bar. It also allows you to put it outside. We did that for my mother-in-law. We have vertical vinyl coated grab bar in her garage because she has 2 steps into the house from the garage. So she has a vertical grab bar. And because it's a little bit warmer than metal, you would not want to grab a metal grab bar in January in Wisconsin. It's going to be really, really cold. So it's nicer because it's warmer as well. And the vinyl really does provide a superior non-slip grip. I have these vinyl coated grab bars in my bathroom, vertical, right at the entry of the shower, and I grab it every morning when I step out of the shower. And it really, my hand is damp, not drippy wet, because I've already toweled a little bit in the shower, but it really is a superior grip. It grabs your hand and really helps you hold on. So the benefits of vinyl coated grab bars are tremendous.
Okay, good. Because I think so many of us would look at it and go, we would make our decision based on color. What's going to be the best match, not knowing the details. The other thing you had mentioned was, some of the memory care uses the yellow and the red, but many of them out there still don't. And so if they don't, you can take that red toilet seat and put it in their bathroom, in their room when they move.
Yes.
Same with grab bars. I don't see them turning down free equipment, to boost their rooms at all. So know that, some of this stuff can be, reused again. I would imagine a grab bar would probably be more difficult, and you'd have patching and things to do.
Just a little bit. It's kind of like you would take a picture off the wall and patch the wall. You can do the same thing in a bathroom.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. But, also keep in mind you've seen the use of it and you might just want to purchase another one
Yeah.
with,
Yeah,
with that
exactly.
too.
You
Because
know,
you
and
don't,
you don't have to have a red one.
yeah.
If your loved one needs a red one, go for it. But if you just want a white one,
Mhm.
we have white ones as well.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing people forget about is we all have people that visit our homes and we don't know what their
Yeah.
needs are. And because
Mhm.
again, it's not something we talk about, but if you can make someone feel more comfortable using your bathroom while they're there, it's less likely to have an accident or anything happen that nobody wants. To me, that's well worth it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, lots of
Absolutely.
visitors have a bad knee or a bad back that they maybe don't always talk to you about, but they could sure use a grab bar near the toilet when
Mhm.
they're visiting your home. And it makes your house much more visitable
mhm.
for people of all abilities.
Yeah, in the bathroom on my main floor had a pedestal sink, and my mom would always grab a hold of that thing, and I'm like, oh my God, she's gonna rip that sucker right off the wall one of these days, because that was her balance thing, and I'm like, no, mom, you can't. I'd have to go in there with her, or I put a walker in front of her, and there really wasn't a good place to be able to position a grab bar, and I don't know if there was something maybe we should have built for her to hold on in the bathroom. I guess we never thought about that much because she wasn't necessarily in there by herself very often. But it would just scare the heck out of me that I was just going to have this flood and she was going to be, in this slippery room that I couldn't get her out of. And as I'm trying to turn the water off and stuff, but those panic attack feelings, I mean, those are real that people think about. Do you ever see, and Maria, I'm going to throw this one to you. Do you ever see people taking a bathroom where there really isn't a place to put a shower, bar and build a platform to put one in, to put a grab bar in by the toilet at all?
Um, well, I've seen some pretty creative things happen in people's homes, and they're creative out of necessity. But I was thinking about your example with your mother and the pedestal sink, and Ponte Giulio does have handle grab bars, and they're vinyl coated as well. And the handle grab bars it's pretty much two kind of curved grab bars. And I know this is kind of hard to describe to your audience, but maybe I can give you the direct link so that people can see what I'm looking at if they're interested in your show notes. But the handle grab bars can be used to put next to a sink for people to grab and hold on to. They could be placed so it could help people sit down at the sink, stand up from the sink. It's really nice to have variety with that. As far as like next to the toilet, the great thing about people who have a difficult time, so let's say somebody has a toilet, but they don't have a wall next to the toilet. That can be tricky, right? Ponte Giulio also has several different types of folding grab bars. So the folding grab bar is installed on the same wall as the toilet tank. And that way you can customize how high to put it, how far away from the toilet, depending on your bathroom space, so that you don't need a wall to put a wall next to the toilet. And I know, Becky, you've worked with customers who have used external blocking. So maybe if they have a wall, maybe if they're not sure if studs are where they should be to put a grab bar, then people can put external blocking and just put studs or some sort of plywood configuration, I guess, up so they can properly install the grab bars into studs or wood blocking so it could be secure for them to use to get up and down from the toilet. So those are a couple things. I know showers can be, oh my gosh, I could probably give you a million shower examples, but yes, there have I've worked with quite a few people who were like, okay, we're going to figure this out. And to each their own. It's houses are so unique and so is everybody's needs. And I guarantee there is always a way to put some type of grab bar support in.
Okay, great. Becky, anything you want to add on that?
I would add, yeah, Maria mentioned the folding grab bars. So it's kind of a U-shaped grab bar, and they come in different lengths. So you can have them as long as like 34 inches. So they're actually going to be out further than most toilet seats. And you put them down when you are using them. And then when you are not using them anymore, you lift them up and they are up by the wall. So they are not blocking the bathroom for other people. And if you need to use them all the time, you can just leave them down. So they work really well. They do mount on the wall by the toilet tank, but we also have versions that mount into the floor and they come on a post and they also fold up and down. So that's just kind of keeping in mind that most bathrooms in the United States are not very large. You see the ones that are sometimes in the magazines and they look like the size of your living room. You know, they just have the big tub and the big shower, and most people don't have that. Most people have a 5x8 bathroom. So they don't, so space is really at a premium. So there's a lot of options that you can do to account for the fact that there's not a lot of space.
Wonderful. That's really helpful. I wish I would have known that, like I said, with my mom, because she would, like I said, she would hold on to that pedestal sink as she was sitting on the toilet, and you could just see it go, you know,
Yeah.
and I was just waiting for it to rip off there. So wonderful. If people are just tuning into us right now, we are talking with Maria Lindbergh with Toilet Talk and Becky Wright with Ponte Giulio. And we've gotten some great tips on making your bathroom a better and safer environment for all. And you can go to both of their websites, which is in the show notes. But again, it's pontegiulio.com or toilettalk.me. And I just so appreciate this. And I wish I would have known these ladies when I was in need. I didn't know there were specialty people for bathrooms and stuff. I mean, it's just, you don't know what you don't know when you get hit with a chronic illness like this. So next, I want to talk a little bit more about shower recommendations and shower seats. And so, Becky, can you tell us a little bit more about different types of shower seats that you would recommend?
Sure. There's lots of options for shower seats. Certainly, if you are in a rental or you don't have the ability to put a mounted shower seat, you can get a portable shower seat at a home health store. Usually, they can be moved in and out. What we have primarily, we do have some of those, but we have primarily wall-mounted sinks. Or I'm sorry, not sinks, toilet shower seats. And the wall-mounted shower seat needs to be mounted into blocking. And what most people don't know what blocking is. Even if you talk to a contractor, they might scratch their head and go, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never heard of it. Well, they have, because they have to use blocking in the kitchen when they hang cabinets. Basically, what it is it is a solid piece of wood that's behind the wall that they can put the bolts into, that is going to hold whatever they've put on the wall. So it's not going to come falling down. Shower seat is the same way. They need to hold a couple 100 pounds, and you're not only wet, you're also naked. And that's not the time you want to be falling on the floor. So you want that seat mounted properly. So if you are doing a big bathroom remodel, you need to talk to your builder and say, put blocking in the walls, put it here where I might someday put a shower seat, or I'm going to put a shower seat right now. I want potentially grab bars here. And they should be able to do that. And so even if you're not ready for it, you can put that in the wall if you're doing a major remodel. If you are not doing that and you now suddenly need to put a shower seat in for yourself or a loved one, Maria mentioned external blocking. Basically what that is it's taking like a 2x10, cutting it to the proper size, mounting it into the studs. So the 2x10 gets mounted into the studs. You can paint it or finish it so that it matches, and then you mount the seat or the grab bar into that. It's basically, putting the blocking on the external side so you can see it. Frequently, they do that. Our company is based in Italy. Sometimes the houses there are 400 years old and they're made of stone. So they have to figure out how to do a lot of things. They don't have any studs. They have to figure it out. So they really do work on coming up with things that are going to work. We have several shower seats. We have the Bella shower seat. It's a beautiful seat. It looks like a spa, 20 inches wide. That's wider than a first class seat in an airplane. And the mounting points on that are 16 inches on center. So if okay, here are the studs in my shower, and this will work for where I want to put that seat, you don't have to necessarily put any blocking in. You can hit those studs. So having the mounting point 16 inches on center will help with something like that. We have another shower seat, a commercial seat. The top is a high pressure laminate, so it's like a white top. It's got legs, and that seat has been designed so that the legs will support 75% of the weight load. So if you have a 100-pound person, those legs are going to support 75 pounds of it, and then you can just maybe even use an anchor to put that into the wall. It gives you a lot more flexibility. And that one's not quite as beautiful, but it is really functional. Also 22 inches wide, so it's a nice size seat, and you can kind of put it where you need it. We also have a hanging shower seat. So what this would be is it hooks onto a grab bar that you have mounted in your bathroom, and it is a little seat. So it can go in and out as you need it. But the hanging shower seat is really nice if somebody just has a temporary illness or injury. I had an Achilles tendon surgery, and I would have really liked to have had that seat. I really liked it. Just having something temporarily, or if somebody's just with you for a short time, or you're just kind of, I'm not sure where I can put a seat on this wall. I'm concerned. I don't want anybody to fall. That's just another option that will definitely work.
Gosh, when you said hanging seat, I pictured a swing, from the ceiling. I don't think that's going to be safe. And then you went on and
top of the grab bar, and it's really sturdy. Maria has one.
Yeah, it is. It's solid, and yep, I would be scared if it swang in the shower.
Well, and your grab bar couldn't be on an angle, or you'd slide off.
Correct. You want it horizontal. Yeah.
Yep. So all those little things, and when you were talking about blocking versus studs, because I had always heard just find the studs, and then I thought, well, maybe it has to be blocking, but you said no, if you can find a stud, that will work too. Again, you just don't want to be on the edge of the stud and not really in the stud. Some people make that mistake, and then it pops out.
Yeah. When Maria was talking about the handheld shower earlier, those are actually fairly easy for people. I mean, we definitely have the holder that will attach to a grab bar, and then you can get a separate handheld shower. But I think you can go to like a home modification store, and you can buy a shower that you can just take your current one off, put the new one on. It has the shower, and then in the middle of it, the handheld shower pops out. That's what we have at our house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, are there any seats for people who are really heavy?
Yes. I mean, we have several styles of seats. The Bella seat that I mentioned, the one that's done in wood, as long as you have that installed in the blocking or into your studs securely, that will hold 600 pounds.
Yeah, I think all of, Becky, you correct me if this is wrong, but I think all of the Ponte Giulio grab bars and shower seats technically are bariatric. Like they can hold people who do weigh more, but I think anything over 300 pounds loading capacity is considered bariatric. Is that correct?
Well, we actually consider bariatric over 1,000 pounds. We have some products that are seats and grab bars that are specifically designed for over 1,000 pounds. Most of our just everyday seats will cover, like grab bars usually hold up to 450 pounds, which is far exceeds the ADA limit. And the seats are at various different levels. Some of them are 220 pounds, some are 300 pounds, some are 450, some are 600. And then obviously the bariatric that go up to, they exceed 1,000 pounds.
Okay, so be honest on your weight, guys.
Yep.
No driver's license weights will be used.
Yeah.
For people on that. Yeah, because again, you want to make sure that it's safe and it's appropriate. You're going to the time and the expense and everything to do that. Becky, where can somebody purchase one of the vinyl coated grab bars or shower seats?
One of the places you can get them is Maria's website. It's called toilettalk.me, and she has a huge selection of our really nice products. She does have our basic economical stainless steel, but she also has a nice selection of all of our vinyl coated products, our shower seats. So she really has selected great products. And in addition to Ponte Giulio, she also offers other products from other companies. But she has a really nice website. It's worth taking a look at. If you are looking for something that you don't see, you can also shoot her an email. And there's a message spot, I think, isn't there, Maria, on your website where they can send her a message and say, can I get this in black? I want it in black, not white. And in our case, we would usually just have to order that from Italy. It just is going to take a little bit longer to get here.
Okay, wonderful. Maria, I'm wondering, because I'm wondering for myself, and I'm sure a lot of listeners are, how do you know what length in a grab bar you need? I mean, do you need different lengths for different positions or different types of people? How does that work?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Well, I will say for people who want more information about the length of the grab bar, I am we're on the verge of publishing a grab bar guide that tells you how to customize putting a grab bar next to your toilet. And so if I don't cover your exact scenario, please sign up for my newsletter and you'll be able to get that when it comes out next month to find what to do for your situation. So the length is mostly dependent on most people's bathrooms. They do rely on studs. So how long your grab bar, if you're installing it horizontally, it will depend on how far apart your studs are spaced. So it could be 16 inches. For instance, I was super lucky in my bathroom when I put in my wall mounted shower seat because I was able to hit the studs right on 16 inches to install that sucker. But I know some people's homes are different and it could be, 24 inches or whatever weird random how I've seen all kinds of surprises. So it would be really good if you are not strong at finding studs. I consider myself not the most reliable stud finder, to go ahead and include a contractor or somebody who does have that skill set to make sure that you are finding those studs in place. Now, if you are lucky, and Becky was talking about installing wood blocking, like if you are doing a remodel and you're able to put whatever length grab bar that you would like, if you are putting a grab bar in horizontally, usually for people, if go ahead, you sit on next to the toilet, you want to put a horizontal grab bar in. I tell people it really just needs to be at the end of your knees, and then you could make it go as far back all the way to the wall as the toilet, or you could do it just behind your back. So from the distance between your knees and your back would be completely fine. And then as far as installing a grab bar vertically up and down, if you install the grab bar on a stud, you could choose whatever length you desire. I tell people in my household, we've got quite a few different heights going on. I have my 4-year-old, I'm about 5'4" inches tall, and my husband 6 feet tall. So for us, we had to kind of average and see what would work the best for us, and make sure that the length of the grab bar would kind of accommodate all of our different heights and where we would reach. For people, if you're in a household by yourself or everyone's about the same height, you can go for a shorter length grab bar, like even just a 12-inch grab bar if you're all about grabbing the same place, and that would work the best for you. So again, if I know I just kind of gleaned over, there's a lot of different types of scenarios, but my grab bar guide that's coming out next month, that's for free. It will go into that, and I'll also have videos to go along with my explanations as well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. That was helpful. And again, people can sign up for your newsletter, and then they would be in, go to your website, and they'll be able to get that grab bar guide when it's ready. So that'll be fantastic. Yeah, so many questions that you just don't really know what is what or how to do that. And I think sometimes people talk with friends of friends who have a grab bar, but they might not have talked to anybody and just, gone to Home Depot and read the back of the package, but really haven't talked to somebody who's actually designed and worked with people in need per se. And we all know that directions on a package can be very confusing. Just, go to IKEA and try to put something together.
Exactly.
I mean, it just, not to pick on them, but just about anything. I think of Christmas time for, parents trying to put things together for their kids for Christmas when they come out, and just it's difficult, and we can interpret them all differently on that. Becky, for you, you've got other products and stuff too. Can people purchase directly from your company as well? Or if they're in the US, is it better to go through somebody like Maria?
It's usually better to go through one of our distributors like Maria, but I am always available to answer questions. Now, some of the things Maria doesn't have on her website is a accessible sink. That's a wall hung sink. It doesn't have a pedestal. It's just on the wall. And the reason is that has to be shipped by truck. Otherwise, I'm sure she would include those. So depending on where you are located, the sink itself is maybe not that expensive, but the shipping can sometimes be $200 to $400. And our sinks are designed to be accessible sinks. So they're designed to be leaned on. They have some lips on the edge that will help pull, that you can help pull yourself up. So they're really kind of a specialized product, but it's very hard for our distributors to sell those because the shipping could be crazy. So you can take a look at Ponte Giulio products on our website, and it's just pontegiulio.com. And I think you said you would have that in the notes below. It's kind of hard to spell. And on that website, you can learn more about the products, and there's also technical sheets that you can click on and see, and that way you can see exactly where the mounting points are. So you can go in with your stud finder, you can mark it on your wall, and then you can kind of check and see if this product is going to work with the studs you currently have. And the other place is just to go to Maria's website at toilettalk.me. And I don't know if you have all the technical sheets on there, but
I have most of them.
She's got those technical sheets. So it's a really nice location that you can see a lot of the really easy to install sorts of products. I mean, if you have a little bit of skill, you can install a grab bar. I mean, you really can. I always think anybody can do it, even me. And I don't have a lot of skills when it comes to building. But, just having worked in the building industry here for a while, I've learned an awful lot. And Maria had mentioned like a vertical grab bar. And I always encourage people to go longer rather than shorter, because heaven forbid if you do fall, you don't want to be laying on the floor in your bathroom and yep, there's your grab bar up on the wall and you can't reach it to help yourself get up. So I usually encourage people to go 32 inches on that vertical grab bar. That's going to get it down low if you need it. It's also going to be high enough for really anybody. So just something if you work with an occupational therapist, they can make some recommendations on that. And I always love to say, if you don't have an occupational therapist and you're working on doing some modifications on your home and you have access to one, please do have them come in. They'll help you say, based on this person, this is going to be the best location. It's a lot of times you'll see a grab bar on an angle. Generally, an occupational therapist will tell you, no, don't do that. Get it either horizontal or vertical. Just because the angle tends to be, if your hand is wet, it's really easy to grab it, and then you continue to slide right down. So,
oh, good point. Never thought of that. Yeah. Because I do see a lot of them on angles.
You do. And the reason is that they bought a 24-inch grab bar and the studs are at 16 inches. So
oh, sure. Okay.
It's like they could have bought a 16-inch and just had it vertical or horizontal, but that's kind of what'll happen with that. So I would definitely recommend toilettalk.me for looking at products, and also you can purchase them there. Or if you just want to see what else is available, because Maria can also special order things from us, even if she doesn't have them on her website. And so then that would be pontegiulio.com.
It's funny because when you said that about vertical or on the angle, it's like measure your studs first instead of purchasing the product.
Yes.
I can see that happening a lot. People going, yeah, we need a grab bar. So they just go and they order one, or they run to the store and they get one, not knowing how to use it ahead of time. Boy, what a difference that makes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That eliminates a lot of problems, because there you are at home, you want to put in a horizontal grab bar and you bought an 18-inch and the studs are at 16. So not.
Well, and I always, when you had said, you can, find the studs yourself. And I mean, I've been able to do that too, but I always get a stud finder and then I do the knock just to make sure that the sound, okay, it's really back there, as well. Well, ladies, this has just been a great conversation. I really appreciate your time and all your expertise. You've enlightened me for sure in terms of doing bathrooms. And I have a couple of people in my support groups redoing bathrooms, and I'm going to make sure that they get a hold of this. One of them might be too late in the process, but it's one of those things that we have to talk about, we have to share. So I really appreciate your time. To our audience, I hope that you like, click, and share this episode that we've done on making your bathroom safe. We've been talking with Maria Lindbergh with Toilet Talk and Becky Wright with Ponte Giulio. We've just been having a fun conversation, but a very realistic one too, in terms of the ins and outs of how to make your bathroom safe. So like, click, and share this episode. There's a lot of people in your own sphere that are in need of this information, but this just isn't a conversation that's comfortable for everyone to have. But, if they see it on your Facebook page or Instagram or LinkedIn account, they might be more of a voyeur and go in and take a peek and be thankful for it without saying anything, because this is a personal topic that, again, not everyone feels comfortable talking about. And we have to make it a much more comfortable topic because, bottom line, we're talking about safety here and comfort. So again, you can go to toilettalk.me. You can email Maria at toilettalk.me as well. She's also on Instagram and Facebook as Toilet Talk Me, or YouTube as well. And then Becky Wright can be found on her website, pontegiulio.com, or email her at becky.wright@pontegiuliousa.com. And she's also on LinkedIn. And we'll have all of this information in the show notes again. So thank you so much, both of you, for your time and your expertise. Really appreciate you helping us all out and being more comfortable having this conversation. I think that's a big step in the right direction in and of itself. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lori, for giving us the opportunity. Thank you.
Great. Have a wonderful week, everyone. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye. Well, hi, I'm Lori LeBay, and I wanted to tell you about Alzheimer's Speaks, which is another great podcast. You see, my own mother lived with dementia for 30 years, and I felt lost. Did you know every 3 seconds someone in the world is being diagnosed with dementia? Odds are it's going to hit your families too. We want to help you connect to services, products, tools, research, and stories so you can be prepared. Please subscribe to Alzheimer's Speaks on your favorite podcast platform.